everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kyle Richards and Erika Jayne had backup plan for HOUSEWIVES reunion. Kyle Richards and Erika Jayne cooked up an escape plan for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 14 reunion, but they never used it. In Peacock's extended and unedited version of the first installment of the cast's annual sit-down with Andy Cohen, the longtime pals joked backstage about a plan to fake an emergency to get out of filming. The plan was a reference to last season's production pause when one cast member was taken away early in an ambulance. Ahead of filming for the Season 14 reunion, Richards expressed worry over facing some of her castmates. She asked Erika, "What do we have to do to get out of today?" Erika came up with the idea to fake an emergency. "Do you want to faint on the couch, and I'll go with you to the hospital like last time?" the Pretty Mess singer asked. "That's such a good idea," Richards replied. "Can you imagine if that happened?" Richards has a long acting resume that started in the 1970s when she was a child actor in TV shows and films such as the horror movie Halloween, so she'd have no problem pulling off a fake out. But Erika noted that she had some experience in faking a medical situation as well. "I died once on Law and Order. I was 18 years old," she told Richards. "I'm really good at convulsing or something, so maybe I could say, 'I have to go, and I can't have anyone but Kyle.'" Erika appeared in 2 episodes of Law and Order in the early 1990s, playing Susan Morton and Pruding's girlfriend, per IMDb. She also has several other TV acting credits that date back way before she became a Broadway star. The joke about leaving due to an emergency came a year after co-star Sutton Stracke really did suffer a medical emergency and exited the reunion with pal Garcelle Beauvais by her side. During the third and final part of the Season 13 reunion, Stracke began to feel ill and started shaking. A panicked Cohen called for help, and Stracke's vitals were taken by a paramedic. Stracke was taken by ambulance, and her close friend Beauvais left the reunion to be with her. At the end of the reunion episode, fans were informed that Stracke was back home and making a full recovery after a trip to the ER. Stracke later told Page Six she broke down from severe exhaustion and dehydration, complicated by a bout of bronchitis. "I was really down for about 10 days, the RHOUSEWIVES star told the outlet in 2024. "I had to shut my life down, which is very difficult for me, and it took about 6 weeks for me to feel 100% again." The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion has always been a source of drama, fireworks, and eye-popping moments. This season, however, was different. Behind the glitter, glam, and high society drama that fans have come to expect, 2 of the show's most iconic cast members, Kyle Richards and Erika Jayne, were working on a backup plan to ensure the reunion would not only go smoothly but also guarantee they stayed in control of the narrative. As reunion episodes often take on a life of their own, it's no surprise that many of the housewives go in with premeditated strategies, some more subtle than others. But Kyle and Erika, known for their savvy maneuvering both in front of and behind the cameras, crafted a plan that would protect their reputations while keeping the drama levels high enough to maintain the show's electric energy. 1. The calm before the storm. Preparing mentally. The reunion for RHOUSEWIVES is not your average sit-down chat. It's an emotionally charged event where old wounds are reopened, and alliances shift faster than the latest fashion trends in Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards, always seen as the glue of the group, has spent seasons navigating delicate friendships, family ties, and high-profile feuds. But with this particular reunion, Kyle knew that her role as peacemaker was going to be tested. Erika Jayne, on the other hand, had just come out of an incredibly difficult season where her personal and legal battles were dominating headlines. Both women understood the significance of staying calm in the face of an impending storm. Before filming even began, Kyle and Erika took some time away from the spotlight to clear their minds. They met for a few private lunches where they discussed their feelings and devised a strategy. "You have to keep your composure," Kyle told Erika. "We can't let the chaos consume us." Erika, typically known for her unapologetic, fiery personality, nodded in agreement. She was ready to confront the hard questions, but also knew that playing into the drama without losing herself was the art of subtle manipulation, diverting the attention. Erika, who's often viewed as a polarizing figure on the show, had her own agenda. The legal issues surrounding her divorce from Tom Girardi were inescapable, and the public scrutiny she faced seemed insurmountable at times. However, Erika's strategy was to shift the focus of the reunion away from her legal battles and onto the interpersonal dynamics of the group. Instead of allowing herself to be grilled about her tumultuous personal life, she chose to lean into the conflict between the other housewives. "Kyle and I both know how to keep the focus off us," Erika revealed during an off-camera conversation. "You can deflect when you have to, and sometimes it's all about making others look more unstable than you." Erika's plan involved being a master of distraction, creating drama, or adding fuel to existing feuds so that the spotlight wouldn't stay on her for too long. Kyle, always the diplomatic one, was more concerned with protecting the group's cohesiveness. However, she knew how to play the game just as well as Erika. She kept herself above the fray when necessary but wasn't afraid to throw in a well-timed remark to shift the attention. Together, they formulated a strategy to stay united and control the narrative. If they both appeared as victims of their circumstances rather than villains, they would have the upper hand. 3. The backup plan. Building sympathy without appearing weak. A crucial part of their plan involved both women embracing a victimized position, without seeming pitiful or overly defensive. Kyle, for example, had a complicated relationship with the rest of the group, often positioned as a peacemaker who has to navigate through everyone's drama. She was conscious that if she came off too strong or too innocent, it might leave her looking disingenuous. Instead, Kyle walked the line of being an emotional yet strong woman who just wanted harmony. Her moments of vulnerability allowed the audience to empathize with her. For Erika, the backup plan was even more intricate. Despite the pressure surrounding her personal legal drama, Erika needed to be tough and unswayed by anyone's attempts to break her down. But the backup plan was to show a softer side. A woman who had been through a lot and was just trying to hold her head up amidst the chaos. This strategy wasn't about showing weakness. It was about showing humanity in the face of overwhelming odds. When the reunion tension got thick, she turned to humor and quick wit, which disarmed some of her critics and made her more relatable to the viewers. "I'm not a victim. I'm just doing what I have to do to survive," Erika told Kyle in a private moment before the reunion filming. This line encapsulated her mentality going into the reunion, her sharp edges tempered with moments of self-awareness that allowed her to remain in control of the narrative. 4. The role of alliances. Strength in numbers. Although Kyle and Erika's backup plan was key to managing their own storylines, they knew that alliances would play an essential role in the outcome of the reunion. Kyle had always managed to stay relatively close to certain cast members, and her friendship with Lisa Rinna had been a cornerstone of the group dynamic for many seasons. However, both she and Erika recognized that they couldn't rely solely on outside alliances to carry them through this reunion. They needed to build their own narrative of strength, unity, and resilience. Erika's relationships with the group had shifted significantly throughout the season. Some of the women had expressed sympathy toward her, while others had become skeptical of her behavior. But Erika wasn't naive. She knew that her real defense mechanism would be Kyle. They had each other's backs, and that trust helped them stay grounded when things began to spiral. 5. Execution at the reunion. The calm before the storm. When the reunion filming finally began, both Kyle and Erika were on their game. Kyle stepped in when things got too heated, offering insight and compassion when needed. Erika, ever the strategist, focused on staying cool under pressure, ready to strike with biting commentary if necessary. Throughout the reunion, the two women subtly orchestrated the flow of conversation, shifting attention away from their vulnerabilities and keeping the focus on the group's internal conflicts. Erika's quick wit and Kyle's calm demeanor allowed them to maintain control of the narrative. They handled the difficult questions with grace, deflecting blame or shifting the focus to other cast members when they needed to. At the same time, they kept their relationship strong, showing the audience that despite the chaos, they were in it together. By the end of the reunion, the backup plan had worked. The reunion had lived up to its dramatic reputation, but it was clear that Kyle Richards and Erika Jayne had come out on top, not just by surviving, but by owning the narrative.